Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're joining once more here for the quarterfinals of our IHSEN Rocket League series. My name is Sherry J, joined on the desk by the one, the only, the phenomenal Dilo as we enter on massive matchup. Can you introduce the team before?
Oh boy. Oh boy. We got some big heavy hitters here in the quarterfinals. I know we got a couple members on the side, but the team names elude me. I know we got Brebeuf stepping in alongside anyone that name is going to be already at the top of the list. But Guerin, Lake Central High School, there it is. CCHS, JV Maroon. It's going to be a best of 5 here because we're starting to reach the peak, the pinnacle, right? That does mean that you have a bit more of a marathon, not quite a sprint, but it gives you a bit more wiggle room, Cherry J, for us to see just the best that these IEN esports athletes got to offer.
Wait and see these players, they're rearing their engines ready to head on into the action, but I'm just so excited to see what our quarterfinals is going to be coming up with. As you know, we've seen some teams play out in the quarterfinals before, right? You look towards some of the Guerin Catholic versus Brebeuf Jesuit previous matchup. They've come in, they've made the whole oh no, my mic.
Dear God, the tech issues strike early, but that's a-okay.
I'm scared now. I don't even know what to do, but we're gonna try and figure that one out. But hopefully we can get in.
Brebeuf Jesuit, like you said, Guerin Catholic. So, gonna be seeing which of these teams has got more faith in their abilities to take their opponent down. Like we mentioned before, it's going to be best of 5 format, quarterfinals here, so we're starting to approach the higher stakes. And that also means that we're, of course, starting to approach the higher skill level when it comes to what these IEN players are capable of. But in terms of top-level capabilities, we got to talk about our sponsors here. We want to give a huge shout-out to Zotac Gaming for supporting Scholastic Esports in Indiana. You can show your appreciation for Zotac Gaming by giving them a shout-out on social media. Make sure to join their community on the Discord, and don't you forget to use that hashtag powered by Zotac or hashtag ZotacUSA when you post.
Really big shout out to Zotac Morris. Yep, couldn't be putting this on without him. On wings up now. I want to get some thoughts. You're a little bit more, in the, a little bit more than I am. So let's kind of go and get some thoughts. Do you have any predictions? Or do you think we're going to be seeing at our series with CEO? Any thoughts?
I mean, I haven't been too nose to the ground here so far for this season of IEN Rocket League action, so it really could be a toss-up as far as I go, but of course the pace setter is going to be this first map, so I'm curious to see if it's a stomp from the outset where it's automatically going to kind of be a bit established as far as who's the top dog, but me personally, I would love to see this run all the way to the end. The more competitive, Cherry, the better.
Yeah, I was thinking, right? I'm a little bit on that Brebeuf. I know that they've come as that number 4, and yes, it's only a little bit higher. These two teams, they've put in the effort, they've put in that work to be able to get here through every matchup within the spring season. Yes, it does take a lot of mental resilience, a lot of great in order to be able to play through a full season, drop after those top teams. But this time they come straight onto the pitch.
Well, at this level of the interscholastic kind of esports domination, it's always interesting to see what strategies are employed. I feel like oftentimes, and I've talked about this with many a caster, is the idea that oftentimes with Rocket League, there's one player who can really kind of just carry it to victory. And it's rare to see, but it's really impressive when you see tight coordination, synergetic plays, passing game up and down the pitch. The moment we get to see actual plays flow from one car to another, that's how you know you've got a real top star quality team.
On in Brebeuf already on the back foot. Try and make something happen. They hit for the rebound. Nobody to follow up. Playing Brebeuf territory. Not possible. Geo though gonna be the first one to try to give up some wiggle room, but instantly Guerin Catholic going to force the ball right back into play. Boost for Guerin. Buff. Maybe entering in Guerin's spot on the map. The net right
GOV from the corner. Trying to maintain the pressure, doesn't have the boost to stand up to them. Reaper with a contest, but it's actually getting bumped away. Some solid offensive bumps here played from Guerin, but no real shots on goal on either side of the pitch. As soon as I say it, though, Gio carries it from the left side, sinks it in. First goal goes to Brebeuf. Unit in pursuit, but does lose control just a little bit too early. Reaper snipes it right back, and it actually gets popped up over the head of Chaos. Now it's Reaper in control. Not enough, though. Trying to muscle their way through, and does bat aside the Goblin, but nonetheless can't quite get enough distance. Gio with the bang as a counter. Gets it across. Right side corner, not finding the same luck as the left, and a contest in the mid gives control back to Brebeuf. All right, now Guerin just got up, back tied into the match here. 1-1 so far, 3 minutes left on the clock. Seemed to be just an unfortunate lack of goal hanging back there. You got to make sure that you're still not leaving any holes on defense. I see some double commits. I see an overcommittal right there as well, when Dixie is going to be able to instantly put Guerin up with the lead. All that work Brebeuf put up to get the first blood quickly gets turned back around. Corner pressure established there by the Goblin. Going to be put right back up, and it's going to be an unfortunate bat right back down. Tries to go off the back wall to get the clear off, but instead just gives control right back to the cherry-picking members of Guerin Goblins. Look at that. In fact, it's going to be Gaming Goblin who's just waiting in the caves to lurk out and take out those low-level adventurers. That's going to be 3-1 in favor of Catholic.
And that first goal Brebeuf was able to score instantly has been neutralized by Guerin Catholic Varsity. Down the pitch, Brebeuf looking to try and mount a comeback, but certainly going to be difficult as Reaper Baby enters into the fray, back onto the refresh for the boost, but an open net leaves Guerin Catholic Varsity with another goal.
I think they really took that first one quite personally, Cherry. The way it's going by at this point, I'm almost unsure of how that first one even came up. Seems like it was more so now at this point a mistake from Guerin Catholic rather than a daring, audacious play from Brebeuf. That's what we need to see, right? We need to see them play with a bit more audacity, or maybe just get a goal straight off the kickoff. We'll take that too. Thank you, Reaper Baby.
Brebeuf will be able to bounce back, but it may perhaps be too little too late. Only a few minutes remaining in the game to try and make something happen.
Back off to the races. Guerin Catholic, no, they can't let another one in like that super easily. You got to still make sure you're playing it smart, no matter how big your lead might be. But maybe we just extend it right there. Reaper gets bumped away. Guerin's been doing a really solid job. No demos just yet, but nonetheless, using their weight, using that muscle to bat them around. It's an attempted pinch at the corner, but Reaper Baby loses control.
Chaos is sending anything in, but it's all Winn-Dixie, forcing Guerin up. A fifth goal converted as Brebeuf unable to contest with only one defender in goal. Reaper Baby just unable to get that right on out.
Chaos went for the double touch there, which is a bit off the mark, but it still looks cool at the end, buddy. You still got Winn-Dixie one more assist, so we ain't mad about that, especially when you're up 3 goals. Yeah, that's going to be some really unfortunate work down the defensive end, but it's double commit, GOV. Big swing and a miss. Reaper Baby luckily able to save it away. 50. Keeps control in Guerin Catholic's favor. Now, question is, of course, who's there to contest? It's a triple contest, in fact. Does work out, but expends a lot of resources on the side of Brebeuf.
Keeping this ball alive, Winn-Dixie, they scored the last one. Can they score this next one? Answer no, as it will be bumped right out of net. Still though, Gaiman Goblins gonna have it right on towards the crossbar, unable to deliver it, but that second touch, Winn-Dixie is finding their score, and Brebeuf is unable to contest.
It just feels like we're investing so much for the appetizer. It's like when you eat only the bread at the restaurant when you still have 3 more courses waiting, and that's the issue. Guerin Catholic put up such a salvo of shots. It's oppressive. It's downright just demoralizing to deal with. I don't really know what Brebeuf can do other than making sure that one person is marking these approaches. You have to make sure that you're not all sending all of your resources. Don't throw the kitchen sink at the first offensive. There's still 2 more cars waiting in the wings.
Oh, let's wait and see. Brebeuf in a little bit of a tricky situation, but they have this ball inputted highly. It's deep in enemy territory. It's Guerin Catholic Varsity going to lose control for just a moment. Chaos sends it. That's almost in. Still hits the edge. Barely. Brebeuf loses that opportunity, but still, these are necessary adjustments needed to be made as Brebeuf down 4 goals, 50 seconds. Almost impossibility. Will need a complete miracle.
Nice.
But they slide one in.
We'll take that at the very least. It felt a bit sloppy from Guerin Catholic's defense, if I'm being honest. Winn-Dixie going to get resources when they really should have been playing defense in that moment. Had Gio just in the perfect opportunity to find that center. Solid work there by Brebeuf. They're still making sure to stay 10 toes down. They're not giving up just yet.
Brebeuf is going to try and make something happen with 3 goals necessary. They've been able to showcase dominance before on the pitch. It's their teamwork, their cohesion that's been working phenomenally. But Guerin, they can't be allowed to get another. Will be struck out as Brebeuf has more opportunity to try and make something in the works. Guerin still having this ball possessed. How highly inputted deep in this place, Guerin. They need to try and get this in if they want to conclude it, but it's already been secured by the looks of it. 15 seconds, not nearly enough time. They'll be able to take their 7th.
What a great center there. Ball on the side of Guerin Catholic. You see Chaos just making sure to put it at mid-center. Beautiful, slow pace. Unfortunately, Winn-Dixie does not get their, 5th goal? But, all my homies got to eat. Make sure to save some for the Goblin, too.
3-7. 12 seconds on the board. Brebeuf going to try and have something in the works just to get a consolation prize before this clock strikes 0. But at the moment, D'Lo, it is certainly looming towards Guerin Catholic Varsity, despite being the lower seed at the number 5 slot. They're going to be the ones to take home a nice victory in Game 1 of the quarterfinals.
Not too shabby. We saw certainly what we talked about earlier, synergy between the members of Guerin Catholic, and a way that Brebeuf just don't seem to have on lock. It might be a lack of confidence in their individualistic skills and the fact that they are triple committing and double committing so often, or it could be a lack of communication. Either way, it's costing them a lot of open nets, and that's costing them a lot of points on the board. Guerin Catholic have faith in each other and their ability to individually act as both defensive and offensive units. You got to have that similar trust in your teammates, otherwise you're just going to be investing way too much for way too little gain.
It's certainly looking difficult, but we head on in game number 2 on the cards. Will Brebeuf be able to equalize 1-1, or are we sending this to match point? You'll find out in just 5 minutes or so.
Or so, potentially. Gotta get all the replays, right? You gotta get all the replays, too. Big bang there for Gaming Goblins. Puts it in the corner. Reaper baby will be able to contest and gains control, but for how long? There's a lot of big bumps coming out here from the Buffs team, whereas Guerin Catholic seem to be more willing to take control and try to actually go for some slower-paced mental games plays, and that just goes to show, again, the confidence they have in their ball control skills. Now Gio takes control. Is anyone there for the center?
And gonna send it back. It will be halted right mid-air. Brebeuf keeping this ball dynamic, brings it back over, hits the backboard. It is still possible. A little bit of a lacking towards the defense for Brebeuf.
Okay.
It seems as if Gio has an opportunity to be able to shove it in. Not just yet, though. Brebeuf now going to have to all fly back over towards their defense, but they weren't staged, and chaos from the high ropes.
Man, look at that. It's not a bird, it's a plane. It's a flying nitrous-powered, jet-fueled car. Chaos comes in. Again, it just seems like this really kismet set of events that goes down. Guerin Catholic find a really crazy cross. It gets down to center, and Brebeuf just do not seem to feel as confident flying in the sky. Like, just look at that. Chaos, you didn't need to use your frequent flyer miles for that. This dude just loves to stay in the air, whereas Brebeuf don't really feel like they have their wings.
Keeping this alive. The defense still there. Game and go blends. Let's see. Can they secure another one? No, they fake out with an aerial and send it low, but it is still going to be discovered. Chaos hits it to the wall, back over, and Dixie's able to hold it back into their possession. Sends it high. It's a little bit too far. It gets a wee bit too wide, and now
Open net.
Guerin Catholic back on the defense.
Unfortunate. Reaper Baby recognized the opportunity, but just goes at it a bit too directly. Tempted center there by Unit, but again, they just get more airtime. Guerin Catholic are willing to take some steps closer to the stratosphere, whereas it feels like Brebeuf got cement shoes on right now. They need to be willing to take some more daring aerial offensives. Reaper Baby beats one. Unit tries to combine, but unfortunately cannot get wheels to ball quickly enough. Now Guerin Catholic on the offensive.
And they're looking to make something happen. Brebeuf, still 2 players towards the net. And the second touch, unfortunately, will be missed out upon. And to an extent, it seems as if this refresh could possibly give Chaos that opportunity. Trade goes in, goes back, but the pass and play action unable to deliver another goal.
Reaper, I would have loved the look, but unfortunately the 50 was already waiting for you. But Gio from the top ropes, unfortunately, Chaos knows that play. They wrote the book on it. What a great save by Guerin.
It's been a lot of more vertical movement that you kind of mentioned earlier. Guerin has been unafraid to go towards, and they're going to continue to make that happen now. To an extent, I think that Brebeuf's defensive gameplay has been, it's been on par with some good teams, right, in this league. You'd imagine that not a lot of players are going to be able to defend from these aerial attacks. So if they can find ways to be able to capitalize on over-aggression, I wouldn't be surprised if Brebeuf can score a few more. But the problem with that is they need to be proactive when doing it. They need to be able to create these opportunities for themselves, and so far, we haven't really been seeing that to consistency. Yes, they have been able to put this purple side in our view, but it hasn't been enough to really kind of think that, yes, there's too much pressure for them to deal with.
Oh, pressure right now on the net. Reaper does manage to get it clearly out of it, but it's still not completely out of dodge just yet. Chaos going to keep this in play. Takes to the skies, but didn't have enough nitrous in the tank to actually reach the ball. Big bang, but not big enough. Unit has control, but not for too long. 50 there. Stalls it. Gio balls it. Can they get it to the net? They do! Over the heads of 2. Brebeuf tie things up with 1 minute left.
1-1. We might just be seeing a close game. That's absolutely crucial in a game of this proportion. This is potentially what you could consider the most important game of a best of 5. Either you can create that best of 5, turn it into a 3 or best of 3, or you're going to be going up to match point. Those are the 2 results you can find in a situation like this one. And it certainly seems as if both teams are going to be understanding that and realizing that the mental is going to be shifting completely based on how this game goes.
That's a really good point, honestly. I think this game does mean a lot. I don't think people think about the fact that the second, I think the first one or the last one are obviously what everyone has their mindset on, but you're completely right. This sets the tone completely of what context we play this entire rest of the series inside of it. Right now, it's a context of adjustments from Brebeuf that are resulting in some fruits being born. Ball centered, but is no one in position there to take advantage? The answer is yes. Gio comes in just a bit too late.
Starting off nicely, Winn-Dixie sends it down, but unfortunately the follow-up not going to be close enough to the goal where that ball does linger. As now we're down to 20 seconds, seems like an overtime may just be inevitable. Brebeuf once more on the defense, going to be sent high, back to the backboard. The opportunity, a little bit too low, and Winn-Dixie unable to gather it. No matter, Chaos gets the next touch, and that's Guerin Catholic varsity. Oh man, D'Lo, this is absolutely absurd how good these 2 teams are, but it's just a little bit stronger.
That could have been the dagger right there, man. That is so unfortunate because it wasn't even like a triple commit from Winn-Dixie's whiff that even resulted in that. They just weren't in the right position. Again, there's a salvo. It's never just one, but Unit might just weave it right on through. That is an absolute unit of a player on your team. Instantly ties it back up. I think we got more than 5 minutes for this game in the wings.
Guerin Catholic Varsity, you cannot be allowing this. So little time remaining. 9 seconds on the clock. And Brebeuf was able to steal away their second goal, keeping overtime in contention. This time, it's an absolute miracle necessary if you want to be able to end this game. And yes, they're possible. But, I mean, keeping the ball mid-air when it seems like obviously, Guerin, they've been a little bit more in tune for going for aerial plays, but even so, they shove it in! Brebeuf equalizes, doesn't give an overtime.
Wow, Gio. Wow. Weight room. Beautiful attempt at a save there from Chaos. Again, they seem to really understand the trajectory of the aerials. They understand what they're trying to accomplish, which is why they're in the position to stop them. Unfortunately, the rebound just instantly gets sucked back up by Gio and spat right back in Chaos's face. 3-2, Brebeuf take it with no time left. Incredible.
This is ridiculous. These two teams contesting at the highest level of Rocket League that we could be seeing here today, and I'm so excited to see who's going to take this. This is only the quarterfinals too. You look at this game, you're expecting this to be a semifinal, a grand final, but no, these two teams are playing in the quarterfinals of the 4 seed versus the 5 seed. Yes, this is the closest matchup you could have asked for, not the 6 versus 3, not the 7 versus 2, not the 8 versus 1. This is it. This shows which team is going to be coming through and likely going to be having to upset that number 1 team. So really does showcase that these two teams, they're here to play. They're looking to try and keep their hopes and dreams alive within the IEN.
I'm trying to consider what the adjustment was, Cherry, because it just seemed like a completely different Brebeuf in this instance. That maybe it's the fact of proactivity. You mentioned proactivity in terms of offense. I think they're also doing a good job at proactivity in terms of defense. They didn't let Guerin Catholic get into a position to make several shots on goal as much. They were oftentimes playing midfield defense rather than just kind of turtling inside their net. But they might need to do so right now as there's Winn-Dixie coming in from the wings, but Reaper saves it.
Yeah, there might be a little bit of a mental boom over on the Guerin side as they allow that ball to get pretty close, and now everyone's leaving the defense as well. We saw everyone scaling upfield, which you cannot really be doing too much at this level, right? When you're playing in a scene where aerials can be the death of you, and if you're not at a level where your team cohesion is not super on par with like those high level teams, I was gonna say, like, you need somebody on the defense, and that shows why. Brebeuf, they got a little bit too aggressive, they got a little bit too antsy trying to contest on the ball, and nobody was there for the net. When it came down to it, that fast tempo just was the death of them.
You said it before. Aerials can be the death of you, and as you were saying, we watched Gaming Goblins learn to fly. And again, the issue is Brebeuf just don't seem to be as willing to take to the skies. They don't have their wings yet. They've been clipped. It's Kid Icarus, and you got to find a way to get those pilot wings. Otherwise, you're just not going to be able to contest Guerin at the area they're best at. And I think they're starting to recognize and take advantage of that little gap in the armor.
It's coming down. 4 minutes remain. And it's a similar situation to what we saw last game where Guerin took an early lead of 1-0. But that lead does not last, especially when it comes to these later parts of the game where we see buzzer beaters after goals on 9 seconds. It just looks so insane from these two teams. But the miracle comes out to be dismantled as Guerin Catholic Varsity is going to be able to deliver a second goal.
Winn-Dixie, midfield, aerial, plays perfectly in the center, and even though I feel like that was a trajectory you could read, it's again that Brebeuf don't seem comfortable actually getting themselves to the right place to contest a ball that's been put up high. And Guerin Catholic have no reason to stop anytime soon. Maybe in this case it might just be where we need to have a better offense to make up for the defense's lack in ability to contest that, but it's not stopping anytime soon. Guerin Catholic still with control.
All in midfield. Winn-Dixie with the touch to send it high. Goes back over to the side. Chaos is going to be the one taking it low. As a couple players do enter the fray, it's Winn-Dixie to take a shot on target and deliver the third.
Yikes, man. I mean, I don't know how many times we can say the same point, but I'll give maybe instead a solution as Winn-Dixie just pops it up so beautifully. Excellent work to Guerin Catholic's offense. maybe Brebeuf need to engage in some Jordan rules. Those that know the Detroit Pistons, and makes sense, right? We're talking about cars after all. Instead of letting Jordan get to the air, you take him down when he's on the ground. Get some more demos underneath your belt. Get some mud underneath your fingernails.
Guerin Catholic Varsity. 3 minutes on the clock. Just need to evade getting scored on 3 times. Now in the past, obviously, we can remember that has been a little bit of a difficulty. They seem to get a little bit possibly overzealous when it comes towards the ending of the games, when on paper they should have a guaranteed win. See if they can change the story, change their fate as they send it up. And once more, Brebeuf getting a little bit too aggressive, a little bit too antsy perhaps, and that'll be a 4th goal converted.
Oh no, a bit of help there, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, from our good friend. Who was that? Was that Unit? I think it might have been Unit there. Unfortunately, was in the position to try to contest, but instead ends up giving that last chip in. You know, that is not the best feeling. You have 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. It's certainly possible, especially with a goal like that, but this time around, Guerin Catholic, they've learned from their past mistakes. No more kickoff goals. Instead, they're going to return that pressure on the other side of the pitch.
Reaper Baby, sent high, gonna be left in midfield. Gio's gonna try and keep it in the aerial potential. Verticality is the name of the game for this Guerin Catholic squad. That's been what's been separating them from their opposition. Their chance taking, their risk taking. This time they'll keep it low. Reaper Baby sends it back to the corner. And Dilo, seems like we might have some opportunity for goals.
Just too low, too slow. Unit takes a chip at it, but instead gets chipped back away. Chaos now at midfield. Has control, but sends up an early shot, one that Gio can handily contest. So solid work from Brebeuf to not allow this disparity to grow any wider, but unfortunately it's an aerial attempt, but they didn't stick with the ball. Now it's Winn-Dixie coming flying on in. The second shot, still a bit too high.
That ball comes close, but it will not be scored just yet. Back on down, Reaper Baby. It's all up as it's going through. Winn-Dixie going to keep it high once more.
Nice
as
50.
Now they play for the 50-50 and lose out back to midfield.
That was still very good. That's exactly what you need to see. Excellent
Yes.
positioning, excellent placement. GOV is the GOAT. Just got to keep that going, though. And also on the offensive side, a minute left to make 4 goals. Chariot's possible, but it's not looking likely.
Not looking likely by any means, as Brebeuf is going to send it down at 4-0. Seeming like it is going to be an impossibility, but we said that last time, and look where it left us, a 1-1 scoreline. So, Guerin Catholic Varsity, how much more can you showcase to us tonight? Will they be able to convert their 5th as they enter in? A nice 50-50 will keep that ball neutral.
30 seconds left on the board. At this point, looking for data maybe, more so than anything else. Get experimental. This game might be chalked up to a loss, but doesn't mean you can't squeeze out some more drops of information from it. Chaos going to try to squeeze out one last goal. High off the back wall. Tries to look for another shot. Won't quite go in, but Gaming Goblins in position. Quickly batted back out of dodge by Reaper. Winn-Dixie, maybe a last half-hearted attempt, but nonetheless, the result's going to be the same. Guerin Catholic take game 3.
Guerin Catholic Varsity sends a dominant response after Brebeuf stole away game number 2 after being down 2-1. Certainly looking like this team has really upped the tempo, upped their mental coming into this. So I'm super looking forward to seeing what they're going to be able to finish off with. But as of now, Dilo, this team by no means is on the back foot.
No, we've seen them have amazing adjustments in the past, and they clearly are capable of great feats of strength, as well as their own level of coordination. It's just that, again, now that we know that this hole exists, right? It's the hole in the Death Star. Someone's going to fly their ship in and just keep on trying to blow it up until you either patch it up or you kill them. Either one, demo or you got to be more willing to take to the sky. Take that risk. Either way, staying on the ground with all 4 wheels planted on terra firma and twiddling your thumbs, that's not going to stop those balls.
Right now, Guerin Catholic Varsity looking strong, poised to be able to find this as they enter match point. It gets sent to the backboard. Goes down. Looks like there's a possibility for a goal for Brebeuf, but it's just not here, not yet. Still, though, 3 players contesting, but they weave around. They dance this ball through each and every individual. But Guerin Catholic Varsity still unable to find the goal. Nobody picks up the but wow, I cannot speak. Nobody's going to be able to pick up that full refresh on boost, but it is still going to be Guerin Catholic Varsity with possession. Not for long. Unit keeps it alive. Wait, did these teams change?
No, team's still definitely the same. Unit's still a unit for the side of Brebeuf, but Reaper Baby chips it up and actually manages to get it from the corner pop. I've got no idea how that sailed in, but slow and subtle seems to have been the way to go. Wins the 50 and actually manages to sink it past 2 members of Guerin Catholic in a typical and unfortunate miss on the defensive side, but Brebeuf can be grateful.
So this is what happens when you're colorblind, I guess. You get purple and dark red maroon mixed up. So that's unfortunate, but Guerin Catholic Varsity, they're going to have to play the defense. That's phenomenal! Can they get it again? Answer is yes! This block is absurd, and they'll do it once more. It is going to be Unit with the ball, going to try and send it out, but it is just going to be raining right above the red net. Can they score it? They slot it in.
That was just awkward. I'm not gonna lie. That's like high school prom awkward. That was rough stuff. Unit, you can see this dancing around. That's me at high school prom. 2 left feet, 2 left wheels. you really got to make sure you get out of dodge with a bigger bang quicker. And obviously, I think Unit knows that. I think everyone knows that. Unfortunate at the end of the day, but he's we're in the right position. GOV though is pitch perfectly positioned to instantly answer back, make that 2-1.
It is Brebeuf to get the comeback. Looks like we might just see Game 5 in the quarterfinals. How cool would that be? I mean, I wasn't expecting it, but I'm all here for it. As it's difficult to see a Game 5 go the distance, but I'm super, super excited to see what will end up happening.
Well, an unfortunate empty net is what ended up happening. I'm going to look at the security camera footage. Who's at home? No one's at home. Guys, they're gonna run your pockets. Come on. What are we doing? You got to make sure that you're not just leaving the front door unlocked. You know, you got to make sure that there's someone, a man, positioned back. And I think we've seen that on both sides of the pitch here so far, Cherry. But at the end of the day, when you're on match point, it's going to cost Brebeuf a heck of a lot more, especially if when Dixie can get that last touch on in. But luckily, saved away by Brebeuf.
I mean, it is certainly a situation where, oh, Brebeuf.
Right there.
Huh. That's insane.
You live by it, you die by
insane.
it. Open net. Again, we really got to make sure that someone's in the back there. If everyone's sitting in the wings, there's no one who's able to make a beeline for center field for that center net. And unfortunately, we've seen that now abused on both sides. At the very least, 1-for-1, it cancels out. But I'm sure both teams are kicking themselves for it. And you're going to be in a lot of trouble if GOV gets that cross centered in. Reaper Baby finds the cherry pick. And now Brebeuf double up 4-2.
It is absolutely crucial that Guerin Catholic Varsity can make a comeback. They don't want this to go to a Game 5 because right now Brebeuf is mounting a comeback. They're gaining tempo, and it is certainly looking good. But it's as you said, right, that team cohesion, knowing who's going to be that last man, who's going to be that person ending with the ball for their own strike into net. But I mean, it needs to happen now, or else Brebeuf is going to be able to end up with a Game 5 win, and obviously that will be detrimental to the mental for sure if you allow this to go away. Guerin Catholic going to give them no chances.
Gaming Goblins, remember their ancestors speak in their mind. Remember your roots, boy. And they take to the sky. Again, that's their weakness. Exploit it.
And to say the least, this game is high action. 7 goals, and we're not even halfway completed. Dilo, we're going to look towards Chaos. Entering in, gets the refresh on the boost, but instantly stolen away.
I'm a bit worried. Guerin Catholic seem like they're turtling. They seem a bit afraid, in fact. But again, your audacity is what got you here. Your audacity is what gets you those goals. I need to see them not playing with fear, but playing with logic, with tact. Chaos tries to make a tactful 50. But unfortunately, it goes a bit too high and dry. Unit contest in the corner. Can't quite get the center they're looking for, and that's going to be a full-scale retreat from Brebeuf.
And 2 minutes remain. Can Guerin close it out, bring it to overtime, maybe bring it further? We know as the game progresses, that's when Brebeuf can certainly become a little bit more volatile.
Unfortunately, not able to find the aerial touch. But again, the idea is there. When Dixie gets the demo, but is the power play going to actually bring him much? Instead, it's an open net, quickly filled by the Goblin. They've learned from that mistake, at the very least. Gio from the corner. Going to try to pop it for Unit, who's waiting in the wings. The 50. Actually, 0-0. Everyone whiffing big, but the ball's now on red side.
A minute 40. Pops it down, hits the crossbar. Ending up being a little bit too detrimental to be happy with, but it will get reversed. Sent back, Brebeuf. Defense is there. Next touch, Chaos. Going to get hit with a 50-50 to the low ground. And, oh, they're still going to look to scale up. Work the pitch. Going to be an awkward touch, but Winn-Dixie steals it away for at least a moment.
Winn-Dixie. From the ceiling, unfortunately, underpredicts the time they need to stay on that ceiling. The ball's a bit too high, but it just doesn't seem to matter. I think Brebeuf, man, they look up at the sky and they just get blinded by the sun, because every single time you see a ball approach from a height of greater than 50 feet, they just don't seem to know what to do in response. A very torpid and unfortunately clumsy attempt at the defense there costs them their lead. A minute left, 4-4.
It is looking good for Guerin Catholic varsity as that comeback being down 4-2 now entering the last minute. Seems like an overtime will be inevitable. This could be last chances for Brebeuf to make an opportunity, but it still goes awry. Ends up in the corner after a phenomenal save, and now Reaper Baby just going to try and make something happen. Oh, that was about to be super, super deadly.
Yeah, dangerous to cross up your own net. Please stop doing that. Another unfortunate double commit and actually a team bounce there. Results of the ball being kept in the red corner. An easy contest there. Unit gets the ball sniped away. Gaming Goblins descends from the sky just as they've been doing the entire time. It's a bird of prey, and Brebeuf might just be the first thing on the menu. One last chip, but the corner's going to bounce it out, and Brebeuf stay safe.
Brebeuf ending so well on the defense. 9 seconds. Winn-Dixie going to create one last opportunity, but at this point it is really looking like this game's just going OT. Oh, okay. That was scary.
Terrifying, but the ball's gonna drop. No 0-second goals this go around, Sherry. Bit of extra bonus Rocket League here for your game 4.
Yeah. It's rough. It's rough. So now we're in overtime. Phenomenal for a game like this. Either we'll see game 5 or we're going to end it off right here, right now. Looms overhead. One player goes from the sky. It is definitely not going to be too easy. But Guerin Catholic varsity, and they end out on top.
Ball centered. Winn-Dixie gonna be able to shove it right on through, and that's all that she wrote. That's all that they needed. Guerin Catholic, after a grueling 4-game series, take quarterfinals.
Yeah, that will be it. Guerin Catholic varsity make the upset. The 4 seed goes home, and Guerin Catholic move on to semis. Let's see how well they can make their season happen, but right now, it's certainly looking like they're off to a hot start in the quarterfinals.
I think at the end of the day, you look at the game tape and you say to yourself one more time that the aerial offensives is what we need. We need anti-aircraft guns if you're on Brebeuf. The fact that they were not willing, or maybe just not able, more so, to contest directly these high-flying shots, these pop flies, if you will, it was a big weakness. And the moment Guerin Catholic recognized that, they never really had to look back. They just kept on soaring, and they never looked at the ground.
Yeah, phenomenal work from both teams, but in the end, despite how close it was, one team's got to win, one team's got to lose, and today Guerin Catholic just looked a little bit better. But yeah, Dilo, that was such a fun game to say the least. Absolutely. And you want to know why these fun games are possible, Cherry? It's because of LandFest. This broadcast is part of the LandFest Scholastic Esports program, a program that supports this league and many others. Since launching, LandFest has delivered over 300 broadcasts to Scholastic leagues in Washington and Indiana. We provide these broadcasts free of charge to the leagues, schools, and teams we cover, but it's your generous donations that make that possible. Every 200 raised covers the operating cost for one regular season broadcast. If you appreciate our work, what we do here, scan that QR code on the screen and donate today. Open your hearts, and maybe, just maybe, open those pocketbooks. Yeah, it certainly is super cool to have Landfest here because I love these streams, you love these streams, everyone loves these streams, and I'm so excited to see what's gonna happen later. I'd imagine those games will be streamed as well, right? Semifinals, grand finals, everything in between. So yeah, I'm super happy, Dilo. I don't know about you.
I certainly am. It's because we get to see amazing esports talent rising up from, the caves, the goblins that poke their heads out and say, it's been 30 years. Is it time to see the light once again? And then they just go and play some kick butt Rocket League just like that. It's amazing. Rocket strapped goblins. It's the best. But you want to know why it's also going to be possible? You want to play esports in college? You want to keep on making those plays? Now you can. Search hundreds of collegiate esports programs at portal.leagueos.gg. Scholarships actually exist for players, shoutcasters like me and Cherry, and more. So list all your talents. Verified college coaches are searching LS Portal right now to find people just like you. IEN students, sign in to manage your prospect profile where your stats automatically update. And LS Portal's free, so don't miss your chance to get discovered. Visit portal.leagueos.gg and level up your future.
Yes, of course. And I mean, I'm super excited to see where these esport prospects we're seeing in this lobby alone will be able to make their ending careers at, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully we'll be seeing even more of them in future seasons, future years to come. But yeah, do you have anything before we end up closing the stream?
Just a big thanks to those who are watching. Always appreciate you loyal, obedient viewers. Big thanks to our production as well. It's been a great time being here.
Yes, much love to the one, the only, the amazing,
Taylor.
Wow, I was gonna look for his name because I forgot it, but then
Taylor.
The Discord channel. Yeah, Taylor, we love you. We love you. You are the coolest producer ever. Oh, he's back. So yes, big thanks to Taylor for putting on the show. It is not easy. We were both last minute substitutes, so being able to have to put everything together in such a low amount of time deserves a lot of prep. A lot of props. That's the word I'm looking for. A lot of props. So everyone, make sure to give a big thank you to Taylor in chat. Thank you, Taylor. But anyways, yes, that's gonna do it. Dilo, it has been such a pleasure working with you. It has been such a pleasure watching these players. As we end off, that's Guerin Catholic once more taking a 3-1 victory home. We'll see you all next time with some more IEN action. Peace out.